So we have done this one. Which ones do you want to do next? EGG2 might be quite fun. Thank you. Appreciate it. It also, the thing is that for me, doing VOD reviews like this helps me organize my thoughts. Not that I'm going to be on broadcast for this anyway, right? Oh, Fnatic T1 was a good one too. We will... I don't know how long I'm going to stream today, guys, by the way. I'm feeling like slightly lower energy today. But I can do... Which ones do I want to do out of this? Because this one, I'm not going to lie, this one was just kind of sad. I don't really want to do that. This one has some interesting moments which... Okay, no. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna show you one thing from this game because this is Ari build stuff. So I'm not gonna talk about the draft too much because whatever. Like, in fact, this is pretty close to when the fight happens as well. I love the mentality which Knight has. So, first things to note, you will notice there is a dark seal here. What a nice item. If you get kills on it, it stacks. That's nice. Cool. Wonder what happens there. Well, what happens is, when you get a big fight like this, when you get to reset, well, that's a lot of kills. So that is 2 kills, 2 assists, which is 8 stacks overall. 2 kills, 2 assists. Oh, maybe you had, yeah, and you had the 3 kills in there. Maybe you didn't get the assist on one of them. But like, that's 6 stacks. Like, this is really efficient building from Knight. This is really efficient building from Knight in what happens after this point, because your worry in this game is getting smacked by these two in an ult combo and you just kind of die. Spellbook makes a lot of sense here. Ooh, he's actually gone for Resolve Secondary too. So there's a lot of fun Ari tech in this, right? So you've gone... so this is like pre-rework Syndra, right? Which has just come out. So you've got like level 1 stuff from your runes. You then got Dark Seal early, flippy matchup pays off. That is pays. Pff. So the thing is, in this matchup between Ahri and Syndra, you are looking to get ahead of the curve because every gold you spend makes an awful lot of difference. Because both these champions can hundreds to each other in the right situation. Now, of course, Ahri's going for a lower damage build, but going for... This is super efficient because Dark Seal, very gold efficient if you start stacking it up. Merc Treads gives you the extra ability to like step over skill shots. Sure, just very good to build up, particularly in skill shot based matchups and a skill shot CC. Building boots early really, really helps with dodging that stuff. Now, Syndra needs to care about that less because you can just kill the wave a lot quicker than Ahri. And then the other thing is, sitting on stopwatch is just super valuable. You don't have any incentive as Ahri to upgrade it until you've used it. You can just sit on it for as long as you want. So what we'll see after this point is, I mean, yeah, there are some plays which happen down here, but like, you'll see it. Oh, actually, no, wait, there actually was a big play for Ahri in here. Ah, yeah. But because like you've got all this very efficient kind of damage at this point, right? It allows you to like get ahead of the matchup when you kind of shouldn't. What I'm saying. And because like the game's already kind of falling apart, they've got Pro and mid and bot. That's cool, right? But like just the ability to know you can go into this kind of fight. Takes cleanse for this fight. Knows that he can kind of get out with flash and all. He's fine. Like, yeah. You've also got a Yuumi to keep you on the field as well. Like, there's just so much you can work with here. You have a 10 stack Dark Seal. And then what happens after this point is really, really fun in terms of Ahri building. Because I think Ahri is the person who's... I think Knight has built like best on Ahri. Because then what you see after this point is you immediately get into this huge spike. This is about the best use of item, best use of gold you can get. Now, Everfrost in this game is somewhat useful because Poppy's lockdown is very conditional. You're not always going to get it. Same with Gnar. Sivir doesn't bring any. And Yuumi needs a little bit of help with the setup too. So the Everfrost actually gives you a fair amount of value. The important thing is you also get AP from your Mythic passive. Mejais gives you a free it gives you a mythic passive very, very easy, right? This is a very cheap item because it's what? It's 1,600 gold? So, Mejais, 1,600 G. Compare that to, I don't know, like a Banshees, which is 2,600. You've now got plus 1,000 gold compared to less sufficient build. You get it earlier. And you're stronger when you're stacking. Earlier plus 10 AP as well. But I think it's still 10 AP from Everfrost, right? So at this point, you already have like the Mejais, and also remember that when you get past 10 stacks, you also get the extra movement speed as well. You get a slight amount of extra movement speed, and as we already said, going into very skill shot reliant champions like these two, and also someone like a Rel, you can actually sidestep the W if kind of force her to always use flash on you. She's never going to land a basic combo. Not that she should be in mid game anyway, but. And then what you'll notice after this point is that you're not upgrading the stopwatch. You're literally just sitting on the stopwatch, and you're fine with this. And at this point, like, yeah, you get a couple of good, you get one good fight, and suddenly you're up to 18 stacks. You are not building into Azanias because you realize you only need. I will hydrate. Thank you very much. You don't need multiple actives actually at this point, and multiple actives of the Zhonya's. You only need to Zhonya's the one fight where you might possibly die. So you sit on stopwatch. And until you have to use it, you just sit on it. You're absolutely fine with it. And that means it allows you to spend all of your gold, not on going for a less efficient build, but going towards a death cap. Now, remember, you're stacking this. This is very gold efficient Mejais at 18 stacks. It's gold efficient beyond 10 stacks. And then you also have mythic passive AP coming from Everfrost. Death cap is a multiplicative item, and because you're already ahead, it multiplies how much you are ahead by as well compared to the game. If you had a Banshees, and then you went into a death cap, it would matter less than having like a 20 stack Mejais, obviously. And it would still be cheaper. So Knight at this point snowballs the game really, really well. He's at no threat of dying because he's got Merc Treads, a stopwatch, and a Yuumi. And like, this is something which I see so many players really fail to comprehend. You can seriously go towards this kind of build. And some people are like, aha, but what if the enemy team just focuses you? Yeah, good luck with that. You're not focusing a champion which is just very hard to kill, has a free Triumph as a passive, has a Yuumi on their board. Like, Knight builds really, really well in this game. And I think that efficient building on champions like this is really, really important, especially when you're not someone like Invictor or an Azir that has excess damage. Like, you don't really, like, ever... yeah, on those kind of champions, you can kind of get away with having less efficient damage. And then after this point, you have a couple of good fights and, like, game's over. You're so far ahead of the curve. You've built very efficiently. Even in a dangerous fight or one of the big fights, you don't have to use stopwatch. You haven't wasted gold on Azanias, which you are not going to have to use multiple times because you don't need the stasis effect multiple times. And I thought this is a really good point to point out. I think Knight has done the best Ahri build I have seen so far. And he's obviously now on 25 stacks and a Mejais, on the Mejais and then Death Cap as well. So that's just worth talking about because I think that only really him and Caps go towards this more. Mejai second is incredibly efficient. It just punts you ahead of the curve, and it's really, really efficient. Okay, cool. That's what I want to talk about. That's literally the only thing which Knight is a Chad, and he's very intelligent. He's very intelligent, importantly. Big order. Oh, well, that's not very... Yeah. Let's go towards draft.